There you go. We're live across the world. I love all that. I love it. You can sit somewhere and be broadcasting across the world. Hi, everybody. I'm Russ Kane, slowly getting myself back to some semblance of health, which I'm pleased about. Welcome to the Midday Show. What is today? Monday, the 18th of August. I don't know about you. I think the older you get, the faster time goes, right? How is it we're halfway through August? And I tell you what I fear. The next thing, it'll be the Halloween crap in all the supermarkets. That drives me mad. That was an American import we really didn't need, right? And then, of course, it'll be Christmas. I'm amazed we haven't had Christmas adverts yet because it is halfway through August. So surely, do you dread Christmas? Do you like Christmas? I'm not bothered about it at all. I kind of like. I went through a big stage of not liking. I'm just stirring something. Stir it up, little darling. There we go. Anyway, I hope your weekend was okay. Mine was ridiculously quiet, as my energy levels are. I'll be honest with you. I'll be absolutely frank with you. My energy levels are like through the floor, but getting there bit by bit. No idea where Neil Long is. That is why he's known as the late Neil Long. Lots to discuss. I haven't even looked at today's news. I have to ration myself. Because otherwise I get into a fury. I'll be really honest with you. I get into like a boiling rage. And one of the things the surgeon said to me is, you've got to try and relax. Seriously, this is what the surgeon's saying, not me. You got to try and relax, because when you get very tense, it exacerbates the problems that I've been having. So I never watch TV news because it's just propaganda. It's not news. We know that. It's just pushing an agenda, depending if it's the disgraceful BBC or BBC, Sky News and Channel 4 can all go do one. They're all ghastly. Julie Voice, formerly of Houston, Texas, now of Guildford, Surrey. Yeah, hello. Hi, Russ and all. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Well, it was very quiet, which is what I wanted. I went over to see my daughter and say hello to the puppy. All right. I just went over to say hello to the puppy. Okay. That was it. I went over to see the what is she? She's a golden retriever puppy. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him, you love him. He's not known as the late Neil Long for nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, Neil Longie Long.
That's because some sausage sent me the wrong link.
Who was that? Who sent you the wrong link?
You big sausage.
Well, how did I do that?
I don't know. You sent me Friday's link. I was in an empty studio feeling all alone. I don't know.
I'm a fool to myself. I can only apologise and put it down to the amount of drugs that I'm on currently. Well, there we go. I'm so sorry.
Are they any good?
Well, I'm taking melatonin now, which is great to help me sleep. You have to get it in America. You get it over the counter. You might as well just ask for some aspirin or Nurofen, and they just hand it to you. So I've got melatonin, which I'm really pleased with. I haven't taken that for a while, and it's good. I went on it last night, and it just chills you out. It's nice before you go to sleep. It's very good. Dave Sleet, greetings one and all. Hello to you, Dave. I wonder what the A stands for. Dave and Sleet.
Andrew, I reckon.
You think? I wonder what
Ansel.
it is. Aloysius. Android. What do we got here? The DeLorean will arrive shortly. Why is that? I'm looking at my dog pacing around. I'm so sorry I sent you the wrong link. What an utter buffoon I am. Now, talking of buffoons, did you ever work with Russ Kane? He was an old mate of mine. Did you ever work with Ross at Capitol? Was he there when you were there? He's gone. We've lost him. He was never seen again. Good evening. My name is Edgar Lustgarten, and welcome to Tales of Scotland Yard. The disappearance of Neil Longie Long caused a stir amongst London society for many years, but it was Inspector Lockhart who was assigned to the case. I don't know where he's gone. Christ knows. What have we got? Afternoon, Russ, says Mark Hampson. Neil, hope you well. I'm listening to Liz reading our news on 3C. What's that? Three Counties Radio. That must be 3 Counties Radio. Yeah. Now, where was I? Neil was clearly sat on Friday just. You twat. Dave Sleep, who's the head of A&A, big psychological clever company. Neil was clearly sat on Friday and just been Back to the Future. What the hell? I don't know what's going on, but it's fun.
Sorry.
What happened to you? Where did you go?
I don't know.
Dave Fleet thinks you went Back to the Future.
It was amazing. I've seen the future, Dave, and it's really good.
Do I get a knighthood or anything that I need to know about? Do I make it? Do I not die this year? That would be good.
No.
Oh, sorry. Am I boring you?
No, you're all right.
What did you do this weekend that you are so knackered? And keep it clean. I do not want to hear.
No, I can assure you it's clean. No, it's completely clean. I looked after teenagers.
Oh, God. Why?
Because my girlfriend was flying. So I took care of her 2 sprogs.
Oh, you poor sod.
Oh. I took into a pop-up cinema and we watched Grease, which was fun.
Did you go to Battersea Park?
Not Battersea Park. There's one in the local garden centre of all places around here.
Shut up. Then the garden centre.
Oh, they do brilliant things. They got a Halloween thing coming up, and their Christmas display is anything good as good as Disney would do. It's brilliant.
You serious?
Yes.
I got a big confession to make, and I know this is very uncool and makes me seem like one foot in the grave. I bloody love garden centres. It's one of my secret things. I love them. I find them incredibly relaxing.
They're nice. They have some nice things there.
Beautiful. Just wandering, just kind of wandering around. I don't want anything. I don't need anything. I will do soon. For certain persons watching, we will need a lot of stuff. But I have to say, you need a hell of a lot of stuff. But I love wandering around. It's great. Robert Van Buren, horologist of the stars, says, oh, where's he gone now? Come back. Chessington World of Adventure.
No, it's next to the World of Adventure. It's not connected to the World of Adventures. But yeah, it's really good. And we watched Grease in their little pop-up cinema, which was fun. I haven't seen that for years.
So the reason I said, I'm taking the most revolting medicine. If I'm pulling a face, I apologize. It's disgusting. The reason I mentioned Battersea Park is because our wonderful theatre critic on a Friday, Jonathan Baz, or as I like to call him, Jonathan Gin and Tonic, first in the queue at the bar, first night Baz, he went to see the immersive Grease at Battersea Park and raved about it. Absolutely thought it was fantastic.
Well, it's just nice to hear the songs again. It's really, really good. They're really, really good songs.
They're fun. They're fun. So was everybody singing along as they were holding their tunics?
There was a bloke and a woman there who were pissed out their heads. And the woman's wearing a pink ladies jacket and they're both dancing in the aisle really pissed. It was quite funny.
You like all that. I find it quite disturbing. You find humor. I know you do. You kind of think, well, that's okay. And I get
you should have seen them.
A bit freaked out, you know?
Oh, you should have seen them. Seriously. Me and the girls are trying to keep a straight face.
How old are these girls so we get a mental picture of this?
14 and 17.
Oh, Jesus. Well, 17 is all right. 14, nightmare. 14,
they're fun.
Absolutely.
They're great kids. It was a pleasure to take them out.
Oh, so if they like you?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay. It's a plus.
Poor misguided children.
Well, they'll learn. There's time.
One of them's normally here playing a video game. She likes to ward off zombie apocalypses in the room next door. She does.
Well, I have known you for 30 plus years, so zombie apocalypse is probably quite apt. Kimmy Lashmar says this: we hate Halloween and Christmas, so do I. I worked in a garden centre. It was great when family business, but nightmare when it got too big. Dobbies. I don't know what. Yeah, they get huge. It's like anything else. It's very interesting.
This is a really big one, but it's honestly very good. I know what you mean. It's a great garden. Oh, Battersea Park Fun Fair in the 60s when I lived in Balham. Yes.
Balham. Gabe. Isn't it interesting how things change? The more mature members of our wonderful global audience will remember the classic You probably won't remember this at all, Longie. Forgive me looking. I'm just checking on my dog, who is so shaky today and struggling with her back legs. It's horrible. Greece is the time, in the place is the motion. Greece is the way we are feeling. Who didn't sing along? Me. I didn't sing along because I can't sing. I love a garden centre, says Julie Voice. She loves a garden centre. Why shouldn't she? Great. What was I saying? Where was I? Oh, yeah, listen to this. You'll like this. And I'll come back to, I forgot what I was going to say. God, my head. Jesus. So I was speaking to my son who lives in Texas. That's what prompted me, Julie Voice, because she lives in Houston. Anyway, my son lives in Texas. So I haven't seen him for a few years. And there we go. And so he goes out last week to get a steak. It's Texas, obviously. And the steak place isn't busy, right? Not busy. Who's at the next table with his family? Joe Rogan.
No way.
Yes way. So I was like really excited because my son and I are big fans of Joe Rogan. You know, he doesn't get everything right, but I admire what he's done. And I said, wow, he said he was charming. Not tall, quite short, but hench, like shoulders like an MFI wardrobe. I mean, like really, really, really hench. He said he was really nice. I said, oh my God. And guess who else goes to this steakhouse? Because he lives there, because he lives near my son. The Undertaker. WWE wrestling?
Oh, yeah.
The Undertaker. Mark Calloway, as he is, married to Michelle McCool, who was a WWE wrestler as well. And they live just up the road from my boy. And it's so funny about distances. And Julie Voice will get this. So he went to see some wrestling. I said, where'd you go? He said, I went up to San Antonio. These are just names you hear in songs, right? You don't hear songs with Peckham in them. Anyway, he went up to San Antonio. I said, well, how far is that? Because my geography is crap. He said, it's just 2 hours up the road. Isn't that? It's so different.
That's the thing with America. That's the thing with America. You can just drive and it's just like face of planet and road. It's just so it's unbelievably big.
I didn't realize.
I mean, the whole of our country could fit into California.
Yeah, probably will at this rate. I'll tell you something. You can get in a car, drive for 9 hours. You're still in Texas.
Yeah.
If we drove for 9 hours, where would we be? So it would be like halfway through France. There's a good girl. Good girl. Oh, she's sick. I'm going to be honest with you, Longie. She's 16 and a half, and the back legs are getting so weak. Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. And people said, oh, you know, Ebony be this and Ebony. Oh, man, it's a struggle. It breaks my heart. But, you know, she's eating like a horse. She's happy in herself. I can't take her for walks anymore. She just hasn't got the strength. But she just potters about. Mark Hanson. I have to Google who Joe Rogan is. Okay. Joe Rogan is
he's a
if you don't know, why should you? Why should you know? Joe Rogan, because I know nothing. If you started talking about soccer and football, I wouldn't know anything about it. So I get that. He's the number one podcaster in the world. I mean, the biggest podcaster on the planet. There's nobody bigger. What is this? Good God. Mexican border to Amarillo in a car is 11 hours.
Oh, that's the way to Amarillo.
Yeah. Every night I've been hugging my pillow. Dirty bastard. That's what I say.
I'm not here to judge.
No, it's you know, to each his own. I've got a quiet life. You know, I keep myself to myself these days. But anyway, where the hell was I? I was talking about something. Hang on. Somebody came up with something clever. And I wanted to know what it was. Battersea. Oh, yeah, Battersea. Years ago, Peter Sellers, they do comedy albums. Did you know that? There'd be comedy. I used to have loads of comedy albums. Peter Cook, Dudley Moore, that sort of thing. And
they were funny.
They were fabulous.
Jump, you fucker, jump.
So he comes up to me. He says, hello. He says, what? Yeah, he says, hello. What? He did what? He did what? What's the worst job you ever had? Well, the worst. I can't get even on this. I'm not going to go.
When the moonlight flicks across your tits, oh Jesus Christ Almighty!
I hear this tapping on the window. You know who it is? It's only bloody Greta. It's only bloody Greta Garbo. Pietra, she says, let me in. I said,
Didn't they just go and get absolutely
Yeah, they
wrecked
got absolutely hammered,
off
turned
their
on the
faces, and then just opened the microphone,
and
and this comedy
they went in
genius
the
came out. It was
they
brilliant.
went in this they got absolutely pissed off their minds. Went in the studio with some mates, turned on the tape, and just riffed, and some of it is just so. And the thing is that the bit that always gets me is that Peter Cook's they're being absolutely disgusting. None of it we can repeat, even on this. And this is an uncensored show, not by Ofcom or anything. And then suddenly Peter Cook uses the word, and there it is on the catafalque. And I'm going, you're effing and blinding, using every disgusting phrase and being filthy, and suddenly you come up with this intellectual word catafalque, which is something, of course, I deal with all the time, as you can well imagine. It's what the coffin rests on. That's a catafalque. Anyway,
Is that right?
That's a catafalque. That's what the coffin.
I think it's not catapult. That could be interesting.
Well, that would be embarrassing. You'd be sitting there and the coffin would go flying through in the audience. And what would that be like? That'd be both frightening, but it would drum up more business for me because someone's bound to be hurt.
Yeah, true. That's very dark.
Good
afternoon, everyone. Yes, thank you. Didn't I reply to you, Paul? I thought I did. I'm sorry. I meant to. Neil, my fridge. I think you mean your friend, although he is very chilled, I'm sure. My friend Kojo asked to say thank you for playing his track last week. Yes, we closed with a bit of music last week, Russ, last Wednesday.
Did we? Oh, good.
Wonderful version of, I think it was the Smokey Robinson song, Cruising, done by Paul Claridge's friend Kojo. He was thrilled we did that and said you pronounced his surname Rigon perfectly. My pleasure, Kojo. It's been, I really wish you luck. You're super talented, so keep doing what you're doing, sir. Very good indeed.
What does it sound like? Don't play it now, but what genre is it? Smokey Robinson?
Soul, I would say. It's a cover of a Smokey Robinson song. It's lovely.
Yeah, Smokey Robinson. Jeez. I had an interesting thing the last couple of weeks. Anyway, I'm going to go back to anyway, Peter Sellers did a comedy album, and one of the tracks, excuse me, Balham, Gateway to the South, and it's like an American it's famous. It's a famous thing. The fascinating thing, of course, is when he recorded that album, I think it was 1958. And Balham was the middle of sodding nowhere. It was like the Gobi Desert of London. I mean, nobody knew where it was. Nobody wanted to go there. It was an absolute freaking wasteland.
Well, that's still pretty much the same, isn't it? Nobody wants to go there.
Balham. If you can afford a flat in Balham, you are doing... It's so interesting how things change.
Oh, I would not want to live in Balham.
Balham's good. I liked Balham. When I was living in Streatham, the
only good thing about Balham is the Banana Cabaret Comedy Club.
Oh, is it there? No, Balham's got lovely little restaurants and cafes. Balham's all right. Streatham. The problem with Streatham is the transport. It's absolutely crap. Awful. You've got to get a bus that it can take up to half an hour, 40 minutes to get down to Brixton. Once you're at Brixton Tube, you're laughing if you don't get mugged or stabbed. But apart from that, if you get on Brixton Tube, which is on Jubilee, Victoria, I think, Victoria line. Boom, you're in. You're kidding. It was written by them. Oh, my God. Frank Muir and Dennis Norden, two of my absolute comedy heroes growing up. I just wanted to be them. I admire them so much. Probably means little to you. Now you're in trouble.
Why?
Now you're in trouble. Now look what you've done.
What?
Well, Mark Hanson's family. My family all came from Balham. Right?
I'm sorry, dude.
So dead.
I'm sorry, dude.
You are so dead, mate.
I'm sorry.
Anyway,
Mark.
Speaking of dead, I was going in for this operation and I was really, really unwell. And I thought, long and hard, oh, geez, supposing I don't make it.
Oh, Russ.
No. I'm a realist. I'm not being dramatic. Supposing I don't make it. So one of the hardest things that people find is finding the three pieces of music, which I deal with all the time, choosing with the families that I look after, the three pieces of music that they wanted for the funeral service. And I thought, no, and I considered it. And I chose my three pieces of music and sent them to somebody very special. I didn't want to alarm anybody else. So I didn't send them to my daughter or kids or anything. But I sent them to somebody very, very special. I said, this is the music that I want. And she said to me, well, it's a little bit of a surprise, but it was interesting. I was, I like my choices. I'm going to stick with them. Anyway, that's now in written form. So, because it takes the pressure away from the family. Otherwise, they're going to say, what do you want?
Does, but I don't think you're ready to shuffle off this mortal
coil
yet.
No. I mean, I'm feeling better day by day. I'm not in a rush to. I've got things I want to do. I want things that I do want to do and achieve. I've got one more thing on my bucket list that I really want to do. However, I was thinking of the family and taking that horrible pressure. What would Russ have wanted? Well, this is what I want. That's what I wanted. I'll leave the rest to you. And I think it takes a lot of pressure off. And I agree.
Better. I've had the conversation with Ashley and I've put things in place to protect her, shall we say.
Yeah. Am I in your will?
No, mate.
What an arse. I never liked him. You ask a simple question. I've known him 35 years. Would it kill him to put him?
Anyway, it's the Neil Long Show on the Midday Show. Thank you very much indeed. Lovely to have you tuned in. I shall be taking the show over from now. And it's a pleasure to be here. Don't mess with me, Kane. You'll rue the day. You'll rue the day.
Absolutely rue the day. Paul Claridge, Balham, from wasteland to hipster haven in less than a century. Yeah. Home of the Bedford. Oh, yeah, but the Bedford's lovely.
It is very gentrified now.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, it was awful.
My friend's dad used to shop there and buy his chicken from Sainsbury's in Balham every Sunday because I used to go over there for dinner. And him and his wife, Mary, fine Irish hospitality.
Hello there.
Pile your plate high. Oh, she was lovely. And we used to have roast chicken and then play cards in the afternoon in Tooting.
What did you play?
We go to the amusement arcade on Tooting Beck, which is just like one away from Balham, isn't it, on the tube? There was a really rough arcade on Tooting Broadway, but we went to the nicer one in Tooting Beck where you didn't get threatened so much.
Now, where did the bomb? There was a terrible incident there was a million terrible incidents in World War II, but Balham, I got this right. Balham got hit by a bomb. Balham tube station took a direct hit.
Oh God!
And loads of people were killed and injured.
Oh God! Sorry.
It's a beautiful plaque. It's not Tooting Beck Station. It was Balham Station. Yeah. If you go to Balham Tube, there's a plaque there, and yeah. Can't imagine, can you? Can't imagine every night living in a tube station. Jeez.
No, you can't. Sorry, I didn't know people were killed. I was being facetious.
Oh, yeah. I didn't hear what you said. Yeah, it was like about 42 plus.
Oh,
I think.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was a huge thing. It just was a direct hit. People were rushing to the station, and the Germans bombed the crap out of them. Anyway, there we are. So, what would your three songs be? Have you thought about it?
November Rain, Guns N' Roses.
Oh my God. Yeah, but it's a 30-minute funeral. We don't want like 28 minutes of Guns N' Roses and 1 minute.
There's a 4-minute version and a 7-minute version. I'd have the 4-minute. Okay. I prefer the shorter version.
Yeah. Anything not to have to listen to Axl Rose.
November Rain.
No, I like Guns. No. I like Guns N' Roses a lot. Yeah. There we are. That's absolutely right. Balham High Road. Yep. I was right. Balham High Road. The bomb landed October 1940 and flooded the station. Jesus. Anyway, horrible. Right. So
Guns N' Roses, November Rain.
Yeah.
I love the Marvelettes. I've no idea why I love this song so much, but I do. When You're Young and in Love. Spring in the air. There's magic everywhere. It really makes my musical doobry go ping, that one. And and I think, and there's a really funny song which me and my daughter laugh at called "Jizz in My Pants."
I know that one. I jizzed in my pants. I know that one.
I would like to have that at my funeral. I think.
Shocking song. The video with that was
so funny.
It was a couple of kids just messing about. It wasn't a proper musical act. It was just a couple of kids.
No, it was. It's Justin Timberlake, I think.
What?
No, it's Lonely Planet.
Is it? It's very rude.
It's very rude.
Rude.
Justin Timberlake was involved. Oh no, Justin Timberlake was Mother Lover. We should each other's mothers, I think.
Ooh.
That's funny as well.
Ray's been dead for years. That's rather revolting, isn't it? Ghastly. Has anybody else actually thought about it? It's not morbid. I just think you want to take the pressure off your family. I'm ending Julie. I'm ending with Pink. I'm coming out. It's actually I'm coming out to get this party started. Yeah, I'm coming up, she wrote, to get this party started. Sometimes I do say to my clients, because most of them are at crematoriums, very few people are fully buried now, interred. It's mostly crematoriums, and the choice is yours, of course. And if it's anything, to do with fire or heat, I do gently say, well, you know, Mr. Jones, this is a crematorium.
I've got a really funny story. We did a phone in on Radio Jackie the other day for situations you find yourself in where you shouldn't laugh.
Oh, the worst.
I mean, you're a terrible corpser. I know this about you, and so am I.
The worst.
No,
absolutely
and so am I. Sometimes just the wrong look, and I will go.
Oh, I'm gone. I've gone.
And a lovely lady wrote in, Ray, who was a vicar, and she said, I was conducting a service, and someone in the front row hadn't turned their sat-nav off.
What?
So just at the real tender bit of the service, the sat-nav piped up loudly, rerouting your final destination.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Now, how's that?
Oh,
she said it was the best funeral ever. I mean, that's just priceless, isn't it?
Oh my God! Now, Julie, this is a very popular song. I've played this many times at many funerals. Wish me luck as you wave me goodbye.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. Yeah, a lot of people like that. Or We'll Meet Again. A lot of people like that. I've had everything from deeply classic. I'm doing I've just been asked to do another funeral for some titled people. I don't know them. I've got the meeting this afternoon by Zoom because they're all over the country at the moment. Yeah. And deeply, deeply classical music, deeply classical first two pieces. And I'm thinking, well, I don't know them, but I'll look them up and we'll arrange it. And then the third piece of music, you ready? Sam and Dave. Hold on, I'm coming. One of my favorite tunes ever. Sam, I used to love Sam and Dave. On the Stax record label, that was my favorite. Stax. Do you remember that? Stax or not?
I remember Stax, yeah.
Yeah, I loved all that stuff. I loved it. That was like proper soul music. So anyway, yeah, Wish Me Luck as You Wave Me Goodbye, very, very popular. Obviously, Frank Sinatra, My Way. Goodness knows how many times I've played that. Tina Turner, Simply the Best. People love that song. My songs were very obscure.
Do you want to share what they are?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Go on then.
I don't mind. Opening song as they bring me in. Donald O'Connor and Make 'Em Laugh. Make a da 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 da. That one. And then Reflection Music is a song that affects me greatly. It was originally by Nine Inch Nails, and then it was the last video that Johnny Cash ever made.
Not Hurt?
Yeah.
Oh, what a song.
Oh, unbelievable.
Oh, what a song.
The Johnny Cash version, if you ever, after the show, if you've got a moment,
as is the Nine Inch Nails version.
Yeah, but look up the Johnny Cash video of the song. It's just called Hurt. And it kind of sums up how I feel. And then the end song, when everyone's feeling miserable and I'm being taken out, wherever. Skip, probably. Pete and Dud. Now is the time to say goodbye, goodbye. Now is the time to yield a sigh, yield that sexy sigh. Now is the time to wend away. Goodbye, goodbye. I'm leaving you till the eye. Good that. I just thought, what the hell? Leave them with a smile. No money, but leave them with a smile.
November Rain, Marvelettes, Jizz in My Pants for me. It's a
knowing
great
you,
song.
you'll show one of your very cheeky videos. Just
I wouldn't mind. And then when I'm cremated, they're going to put, this is written into my will, they're going to put my ashes in a firework rocket and launch it into the sky.
like Hunter S. Thompson.
Is that right?
Yeah. Two people did that. Hunter S. Thompson, he had it fired out of a cannon or something. Yeah, because he was eccentric. Let's just say that. I don't want to say nuts. And he had his ashes fired up into the sky. Yeah, it's a beautiful. And also when, oh God, I've forgotten the actor's name, but he played. Come on, on Star Trek. I can't no Captain the Dilithium crystals. I cannot take it. He wasn't American. He wasn't Scottish, but he played the engineer. Come on, Scotty. You call him Scotty. Beam me up, Scotty, and all that. His ashes were fired into space, which was lovely. Because of Star Trek and everything like that. I thought that was great.
James Doohan.
That was it. Thank you so much. What is this? Hang on. Come back. I'm having Blodnock's rock and roll called a good. I have no idea, Mark, what that is. What is that? Is that a band? I'm really being genuine. I don't know. The Blodnock, are they a band? What are they? Neil, help me out. What is it?
Can't help you. Something to do with the Goons, obviously, but I don't know.
Oh, is it? Yeah. It's weird. Prince Charles, we're now King Charles, and what a wonderful job he's doing. Said nobody ever. He loved the Goons, and I didn't.
Did he?
Yeah, he's obsessed with the Goons and the Goon Show and Spike Milligan and all that. I didn't find it funny at all. But I'm old enough. They brought out a TV series on a Saturday afternoon called Telegoons, which was aimed at little kids like me, and I was a little kid at the time. And that was okay, but I didn't like the Goons. It was just before my time. And no, I didn't.
Spike Milligan have written on his gravestone, "I told you I was
ill." I told you I was ill. I think mine would just say, it's a Tim Minchin line. I can't claim credit. Tim Minchin, genius fellow, wonderful writer and composer. And mine would just simply say, who's the world going to revolve around? Which I thought was
very good. So, on my gravestone, freshly lacquered, these 3 words, just bleeding knackered.
Really, that's good. What's that?
Where'd you get that
from? That's clever. I like that. It's not. The weird thing, some people might say, well, this is a very morbid conversation. I don't think it's morbid. I think what you want to do is take as much pressure off the family who are left, who will be presumably upset. Oh, written in Gaelic because the Church of England won't allow it in English.
Okay. Why?
Who knows? I wanted on my mum's headstone something about her because she drank about 20 cups of tea a day, if not more. And I wanted a little thing about teapots and tea, and they wouldn't allow me to do it. Seriously, they wouldn't allow me to do it. Mark Hanson, right. This makes Ying tang ying tang ying tang ying tang ying tang ying lai per ying tang ying lai per ying tang ying lai per ying tang ying tang. That was the Ying Tang. Seriously, that was the big hit for the Goons. And this was obviously the B-side. I've never heard.
Did that get in the charts? The Ying Tang song.
Yeah. It was very famous. It played all the time. So Brilliant. The Goons were. Let's see if I can. Peter Sellers, Harry Seacombe, Spike Milligan. Can't remember anybody else. Sorry, that's a lineup and a half, isn't it? That's a lineup and a half.
I mean, I only became aware of Harry Seacombe when he was presenting Songs of Praise.
Yes.
So I never really saw his funny side.
Well, precisely so.
He was always the kind of good Sunday kind of.
Yeah, it was very interesting. There was this whole tranche. Well, I don't know if you knew this. And originally Michael Bentine. Yeah, brilliant.
Of course.
The mighty Michael Bentine. Names that people will just. Yesterday, here's interesting. See what you think about this, Longie. I see the name Michael Bentine, Philip Harley, and I immediately can think of the little potty men, his little funny things that he did. I liked it a lot. And yesterday, the great Terence Stamp died. Was it yesterday or Saturday? Terence Stamp, one of the coolest, most handsome actors we've ever produced in this country. Incredible.
Oh, I remember. For some reason, I used to watch. What did he play Zod in? What was that?
Superman.
Right.
Superman.
I remember that. I remember that line in Superman, and the villain, him, Terrence Stamp, Zod, has got someone kind of on their knees begging for mercy, and the guy goes, "Oh God," and he went, "Zod." And I just remembered that, and it came into my mind today when I read it in the papers. Now that must be 40 some years ago. It's amazing the things you remember.
At least.
Yeah,
well,
but that's all I remember from him. A little bit
he
before my
in
time.
1962 appeared in the film Billy Budd. This is a very young, very handsome guy, and then Far from the Madding Crowd. Oh my God! Every woman in the world went mad for it. I'm absolutely mad.
Yeah.
And the most beautiful couple. All right, I don't want to be definitive, but to me, possibly the most beautiful couple in the world were Terence Stamp and Julie Christie, who were just gorgeous. I mean, they just looked fantastic. And of course, Waterloo Sunset, Terry meets Julie, and it's about Terence Stamp and Julie Christie. Written by
Is that
Ray Goldman.
right?
Yeah, sure.
I never knew
about.
that.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's a little nod to the 60s, and Terence. It's the idea of Terence Stamp and Julie Christie meeting under the clock at Waterloo Station. It's lovely.
I never knew that. Oh, brilliant!
Anyway,
every day's a school day, isn't it?
Every day's a bloody school day. So somebody said on, I put it up on social media. I put it on Twitter, and it got a lot of things. And somebody said, "Isn't it a shame that so many people will have no idea who Terence Stamp was, and we have to have with these stupid, talentless so-called celebrities foisted upon us?" And I thought about it for a couple of minutes, and I replied. It was somebody I didn't know on Twitter, and I said, the point is, we know who Terence Stamp was. We know how talented he was. We know what a legacy he's made. And we reject all these so-called, quote, celebrities who are utterly talentless.
Because people of that age
we don't care anymore.
Wouldn't know who he was.
No, they wouldn't have a clue. They wouldn't have a clue. Because when somebody dies well in their 80s, people will go, "What? Who the hell was that?" Jim Lovell died the other week, who was in Apollo 13, which miraculously managed to re-land on and splash down safely. That film with Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks actually played Jim Lovell.
Houston, we have a problem.
Houston, we have a problem. That's right. One of the great heroes, one of the great pioneers of space flight, and your average person who's more interested in, I don't know, pick any idiot you like from Love Island or any of that crap. Or, Big Brother.
I actually did meet the lad from Love Island. He was turning on the Christmas lights one year in Cobham. And I have to say, he's actually a really nice lad.
Yeah, they're probably okay, but they're not a celebrity.
No, I wouldn't say celebrity, but he was a perfectly charming young man.
No, I totally get that. I totally get that. We've got some interesting names. I mean, I loved this guy, Eric Sykes. Oh, God, I loved Eric Sykes. Loved him. I thought he was just wonderful comedian, wonderful writer.
I don't know what I was doing there, but it was a production, and his daughter was producing it.
Really? Well, Eric Sykes' his daughter?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And then suddenly, just walking across the grass was Eric Sykes. And I'm like,
oh, man.
And I said to my girlfriend at the time, "That's Eric Sykes." And she went, "Yeah."
Some years ago, well, actually many years ago, I was walking down Burlington Arcade in the middle of London. And this is so silly. I needed, my shoelace had broken. And I had a full day of meetings. And there was a beautiful shoe shop, small, of handmade shoes. Small little half shop in Burlington Arcade. No idea if it's still there or not. And I went in and I said, "Look, I'm really embarrassed." Because, these shoes are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds, handmade and beautiful. I said, "I'm really sorry. I just need a pair of shoelaces. I hope you don't think that's insulting." And the fellow was charming. He said, "Not at all, sir." And then in came this guy. He said, "Oh, hello, Charles." Or something. My shoes ready in a couple of days. And I turned, it was a very small half shop, and I turned. It was Terence Stamp. And there's very few occasions, I can tell you all three of them, where I could not speak.
You were fanboying, were you?
Normally I'd go, oh, hello, how lovely. You know, you'd say something like I normally do and say, I really admire your work. Or say, and it's Terence Stamp. And we're standing like shoulder to shoulder in this little half shop. And I'm like, there's me buying a pair of shoelaces. And there's Terence Stamp. And I was like, oh. And he kind of filled the shop with his magnetism. It was amazing. And the other person, like, there were two other people. When I lived in America, I just got there. It was 76, 77, right? Again, another shoe shop. I needed some shoes. And I went into this shoe shop in New York. Just an average shop. I mean, not Bloomingdale's, really, just a little shop. And in came Sylvester Stallone and some mates of his. Yeah. And I'm in this shoe shop. And I don't know how old I was, 20 nothing, you know. And he was at the height of Rocky fame. 76, 77. I'm like, it's Sylvester Stallone. Don't say anything. Can't say anything. Can't say anything. You got some shoes? You got any sketches? I want some slip-on shoes. That was it. Have you ever met someone you just like couldn't open your mouth? You just sat there like a cold, goldfish because you couldn't speak.
Yeah, I'm ashamed to say it, Chris Tarrant. No, seriously, when I first joined Capital, he was like a god to me. And I did not know what to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn. I tell you, the one person.
I mean, it sounds silly now.
No, it doesn't sound silly.
I'm very proud to say that I worked at the same radio station as him. I'm very proud of that.
Yeah. It was like when I met Everett and Alan Freeman.
Oh, I never met Kenny Everett.
You never
Alan
met
Freeman
him?
Alan Freeman was lovely the first time I met him. I was doing my demo at Capital.
Great.
And he came in the studio and he went, because he sounded just like the same off air as he did on. It wasn't the voice. And he went, all right, what are you doing? I said, I'm making a demo tape. All right, good luck. Do you mind if I just do something? And I said, no, not at all. I mean, this is a radio god.
He was so lovely.
Oh, he was. And he came in and I said, have you got any advice for me? A young buck like me. He went, when you stop enjoying it, that's when you should give up. All right. And then he put his hand on my shoulder and he went, you're a beautiful boy. And it was only afterwards I found out he was gay. I never actually knew that, but he was. Yeah.
The loveliest.
Did you know that? You must have.
Yeah, of course. The loveliest man.
A lovely man. Absolutely lovely man.
These people were really, all the years at Capital, there was only one person who went on to be a huge star, not at Capital, somewhere else. I'm not going to say who, was deeply unpleasant, and still is. And yeah.
Oh, I'm fascinated now. I'm going to have to ask you.
I'll tell you off air, but I'm not going to tell you on air because it's just.
No, of course not.
Right, here we go. Rosemary Jessup. Hello, Rosie. So we got another of my heroes. I'm honoured to have his and Fred Hasey's autographs on a baseball hat. Wow. I get angry people say they didn't go into space and did. Oh, yeah, it's bullshit. It's just bullshit. Of course they bloody went there. Now, I saw this production. Rosemary Jessup again. Jimmy Stewart. I had a bucket list of people I wanted to see before they shuffled off this mortal coil. Jimmy Stewart, in his latter years, came to London in the West End and did Harvey with, I couldn't tell you what I had for breakfast, with Mona Washbourne. Mona Washbourne was the female lead. How can I bloody remember that? I don't know. I was a kid. Jimmy Stewart. Alan's. What's Alan's what? Alan's.
Freeman.
You lost me. Alan's what?
We were talking about.
Yeah.
We're talking about Alan Freeman.
Yeah. Not half pop pickers, all right.
Just while we're talking about people not standing on the moon. Rosemary, I do believe they did the moon landings. I'm not into that conspiracy nonsense at all. But there's a brilliant film, it's fiction obviously, called Capricorn 1.
What?
Do you remember it?
Josh Brolin's
I think
dad.
so, and it's where they fake the moon landings. But obviously, if it's fake, they've got to keep the astronauts somewhere. So it's all about what they do with the astronauts and what they do to them. Really, really good thriller.
I saw that. It came out 70s, late 70s, I think, mid to late 70s. And I saw that movie about a couple of years ago. And I thought, I wonder if it's aged. It was terrific. And basically what happens, not a spoiler alert, what happens is they they realize the rocket isn't safe. So just before blast off, they schlep the 3 astronauts out. And they send the rocket up, and the idea is the rocket's going to come back. They'll reproduce the astronauts. Hooray, happy days, big American heroes. On re-entry, the rocket, which doesn't have the astronauts in it, but everyone thinks it does, burns up. It disintegrates on re-entry. Now they've got a huge problem. Because obviously there's 3 dead astronauts, except in actuality, they're still alive. It's a brilliant premise. Capricorn 1, one of my favorite films. Oh my God, look at this. Look at this. I was having a drink with a friend of mine. Tommy Cooper came in and sat with us. Wonderful guy.
Famous.
Hang on, 1977. Yeah, Elliot Gould. Elliot Gould was in it. Josh Brolin, who's in everything. His father, James Brolin, married to Barbara Streisand. He was in it, and I can't remember anybody else. Elliot Gould. It's 1977. It was a fantastic film. Absolutely terrific. Capricorn 1. If you can find it on YouTube, or you'll find it somewhere. It's a really entertaining, exciting movie, as those films were back in the day.
Very, very good. Very, very good indeed.
The interesting thing is, I was going to say the other person I couldn't open my mouth to. So there was a film called Splitting Heirs, but Heir was Heirs.
Oh, I remember that.
Written by Eric Idle and starring various folks from Pythons, etc., and featuring the absolutely beautiful Catherine Zeta-Jones. I don't know when it came out, but anyway. So I go into Soho House for a drink. What a surprise at lunchtime! And they had, I don't know if they've still got it, the Round Bar. They still do. And it's empty. And I walk in. Actually, I just had a coffee because I don't drink during the day. I really don't. And sitting at the bar, like about 4 seats away from, there's me, nobody else, and the most beautiful girl I've ever seen in my life. It's Catherine Zeta-Jones. The people who know me know that I was like, oh, hello, lovely to meet you. You know, something. You think of something. You know, loved you in, was it Last of the Summer? What? Not Last of the Summer.
Darling Butter,
Darling, loved you in Darling. But you think of something to have a chit chat about.
Were you starstruck?
She was so stunningly beautiful. And I sat there, I thought, I can't say anything. Whatever I say, I'm going to look like an absolute idiot. And I just sat there completely silent. And I couldn't speak. Absolutely couldn't speak. So those are the 3 people: Sylvester Stallone, Terence Stamp, Catherine Zeta-Jones. I just sat there. I won't sell much ice cream and that's meat. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Diane Taylor. What have you got? You got the signed program from Harvey, Diane. Have you? Diane Taylor, I have the signed program. Thanks for joining us. Lovely to have you. Lovely to have you along. Is there anybody? Don't name them. But is there anybody that you looked up to, Neil, and you thought, I bet they're lovely, and then you meet them, they're absolutely a total shit?
No.
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 Wow. Oh, God, I have.
No, most of the famous people I've met have been really nice.
They're really, yeah, most people.
Including Chris Darren, who I was shy in front of.
Yeah, I'm not going to, I won't mention names. But they're both household names, huge stars.
Oh, I really want to know.
I can't. It's not
you can tell me off air.
And I met somebody. It was a party. It was in a friend of mine who's a top agent flat. So obviously I'm not a punter. I'm in his flat. And he threw a beautiful party. One of his clients was there. We went up to say hello. I'm not going to say male or female. Beyond rude.
Really?
I'm not a punter coming up in the street or disturbing somebody's meal in a restaurant or anything. I'm in a mutual friend's flat. So obviously, you know, so rude. So we said to ourselves, well, maybe that person had an offer. Okay. The next year, it was a kind of Christmas party thing. So the next year, we were invited again to my friend's flat, beautiful flat in town. a very successful agent. Went up to say hello again because the same person was there, still a client. Even ruder. I thought, what the hell's the matter with you?
What did they say to you?
If I say what they said, it would give away who they are, which I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Just cheap radio, getting tittle tattle. But and this time we both looked at each other. Siobhan and I both looked at each other and went, "Oh, screw you." We just turned our backs and walked away.
Well, that's the best
Wasn't
thing
going
to
to
do.
have it. Wasn't going to have it. Absolutely not going to have it. Just ridiculous.
I don't want to sound like your mum, but manners cost nothing. And also, when I was a bit famous in the 90s, I considered it a privilege. So I was always really nice to people, unless they were weird and a bit clingy and stalky, in which case I avoided them. But if it was just a normal punter, I'd be absolutely charming. Why wouldn't I?
Because
it's a privilege.
When we used to be in management, the worst decision I ever made in my entire life is, I would say to the clients, it takes no longer to be polite than it does to be rude. If you're polite, that's the end. If you're rude, they will tell everybody they've ever stood next to in a bus stop. I went and met Fred Smith, and I bumped. Oh, I love Fred Smith. Well, he was an absolute arse. Really?
And I think there's a perception amongst the general public that people in radio and media are a bit weird, and some of them are. So if I met someone, I wanted to sort of say, actually, we're not all like that. I'm actually quite normal and down to earth. You know what I mean?
Very quiet. Like Steve, I was in a little Italian cafe. Where was I? Shepherd's Market way, I think it was. I was waiting for somebody, and Steve Wright was there, and I just went over and had a chat. I mean, so self-effacing, because you'd think there's a big personality and the whole thing. Nothing like that. When people are off. Well, I mean, when the mic is off, they're just very nice. The worst is when they can't switch off, and that's pitiful. That's just pitiful. You can't live like that. You go round the bend. You do go round the bend. You can't be on the whole time. It's horrible.
No, we all need that.
I remember years ago when we started at Capital, and we went out for dinner. There was me, the late, wonderful Phil Swern. God damn, at his funeral, he was such a nice man. He was so kind to me, Phil Swern. Amazing, amazing man. And a couple of other people, one a famous person. And he wouldn't stop. And eventually I leant across it was only the four of us in a little restaurant, nothing fancy. And I said, you don't have to be on. It's just us. Christ's sake, just relax. You don't have to entertain us. We're not an audience. We're just, four people sitting, as my son would say, chatting beans, just, relaxing. You don't have to be on and don't have to impress us. Silly.
Is that a Texas phrase, chatting beans?
No. It's one of my the son who still lives in England, and I said, what? He said, well, he said to me, yeah, you're chatting beans. And I went, what? Chatting beans just means chit chat. Apparently,
yeah, shooting the breeze.
It's interesting. I was talking to my boy, as I said, who's lived in Texas now 3.5, 2.5. I lost that 2.5 years, 3 years, something like that, and I can just hear some of the English just being slightly erased, like butter, some of the. It sounds like him. I mean, he's still got a very English accent. If you were from Texas, you'd say he's from England.
That was my daughter, but she lived in Canada for 2 years, so she'll say Ottawa.
Ottawa. Would she say about? Wrote. Take that. Wrote 66.
She says Ottawa, which I find very endearing when she does it.
Ottawa. Is that how they pronounce it? Oh, and also, they go Toronto. We say, "Oh, I'm going to Toronto," and they go Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto.
And it's like,
or Vancouver, she calls Couves.
Couves.
That's just her.
Oh,
that's just Ashley being Ashley.
I liked Vancouver.
It's a nice city, very well run city.
It is a nice. Yeah. Canada is part mad, part insane, and part fabulous. I don't know. Aluminum. Oh yeah, aluminum. No, it's aluminium actually. Aluminum. When I did my stand-up show in America, when I used to do it in Los Angeles, I'd do this whole thing about the language, and they really got it. I say, why do you say herbs? What happened to the H? Why herbs? And I do this whole routine. I go, you don't go, take me to the hospital because I'm having an heart attack. No, it's herbs with an H. Herbs.
Very good.
I said, are you trying to be sophisticated and French? I said, for a start, everyone hates the French, and B, it's not sophisticated. It just sounds like you can't read the word herbs.
And route, they say as well, don't they?
Right, in Canada, route. That's
And America, route instead of route.
Some do. In some states, they will say route, and others will say route. And Canadians always say a boat. So if you ever listen to one of my favorite bands is Rush, with the late, magnificent Neil Peart, one of the greatest.
Spirit of radio.
Oh, jeez. What a shoot. Best drummer, sorry, puts John Bonham in the shade. Neil Peart. And when you hear them being interviewed, etc., they're beautifully spoken. Geddy Lee, Alex Lifeson, and such interesting guys. And you hear the Canadian, very different from the American accent, like really, really aluminum.
I heard a great comedian, David Sonos. He got up on stage, and he's Canadian, and he said, you know, we sound similar, and our language is similar, but we have a couple of extra words in Canada, like please and thank you.
People said when I was up there, they said, what's the difference? I said, well, America and Canada. I said, Canada's got all the convenience of America, but it has manners.
I described Canada as America with all the bad bits taken out.
Kind of is. Kind of.
I loved Canada. I thought it was so forward thinking and lovely. I thought the people were lovely, and my daughter was treated so well there. Just surrounded by these wonderful people wherever she went.
Very friendly. I don't like the Mark Carney guy, the guy who used to run the Bank of England. I don't like what he's doing. Him, Starmer, and that idiot Matt.
Fair enough, but I thought the country and its people were.
But the people, they can all go do one because I absolutely detest them. And detest what they're doing.
I got the impression if he wants to do well in Canada, if you follow the basic rule of don't be a dick, you'll be fine.
I think so. People were very charming, genuinely charming.
Yeah.
Because when you go to LA, the great thing is there's never such a thing as a bad meeting in LA. Everything's great. You will never hear from them again. They will never call you again, but you will never have a bad meeting. They will never say, you know what, Neil, I don't think this is for us. They will give you some total bullshit. You'll come out of the meeting. If you don't know what you're doing, you'll come out of the meeting thinking, wow, this is great. You'll never hear from them. It's all crap. Absolute crap. And that's LA. If you go to LA knowing that, you can enjoy it. Well, I'm not sure you can enjoy it anymore because it's dying on its ass out there. It's horrible. I'm not going back. But it was a few years ago. Very, very nice. And they've got massive problems. God damn. One thing we don't have, thank God, is my daughter just got back from Boston. She had to go over for something. I'm not going to explain why. Went over to Boston, did something, and came back, right? And the hotel they were staying at was next to it was a beautiful, lovely hotel temporarily. And then they had to go to a motel somewhere else. And it was next to the General Hospital. And she said, Dad, you know Walking Dead? I went, yeah, I know the show Walking Dead, right? They've got all their fentanyl addicts. Fentanyl is a disgusting drug.
My friend has just got on fentanyl through no fault of his own. He was given it as a painkiller.
Oh, God.
He was addicted to it for 10 or more years. And he's
God.
He's just been through a detox at St. Thomas's in London. He's done really well, bless him.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I want to explain something really quickly.
It's about 100 times more powerful than heroin, isn't it? It's an awful drug.
And it turns you look, I'm not exaggerating, you genuinely look like a zombie. You look like you've died and you've come back to some form of life. You look like a zombie. It's horrific. And, my daughter was, wandering around, and then you suddenly see this honestly horrific apparition coming towards you. It's so frightening. So frightening. What do we got? Would you like to read this from Mr. Claridge?
My childhood friend Christopher, born in Canada and moved back there in his teens, is now a sergeant in the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, commonly known as the Mounties.
Yes.
They still have the famous uniform, but it's only worn on special occasions. The rest of the time, they're dressed in normal police uniform. Yeah, I just found it a very forward-thinking. I always remember because they base their parliament on ours quite a lot. And when I went over there, my daughter she's brilliant. She loves an itinerary, my daughter. She'd done an itinerary of things for us to do.
An
And we went to
itinerary.
visit and we went to visit their parliament. And normally you see the parliaments in the UK, Parliament in the UK, or in America, Congress or whatever they call it out there. And it's all protests every day and placards and angry protests. Here, on this massive concourse, cold day, one A board, about the size you get outside. No one attending it, no one buying it, just one A board, one solo A board, no one attending it, no one round it. And all it said on there was something like, Trudeau, bring the price of school textbooks down. And that was it. And I thought, if that's the level of discontent, now compare that to the protests in America or the angry protests in London that you talk about. You know,
Jesus,
and Trudeau, be reasonable, lower the price of textbooks. That was it.
Or we won't wrap them in brown paper anymore. Like did you used to do that at school? Did you have to wrap?
Yeah, we had to cover our books.
Yeah, I never quite knew what that was about, but we had to do. I was rubbish at that. I can't do stuff like that. But I did it.
No, I was terrible.
You looked terrible. I always remember that. Family members just started uni in America, and you got to buy your textbooks. They're $100 a shot. $100 a shot.
Wow.
I know. Go figure. But
Wednesday's show.
Oh yes, let's hear all about it.
Lovely lady called Serena Novelli. She is a sex and relationships coach.
I like her straight away. You had me at sex.
Well, we spoke to one of those last week, Wednesday.
Not that anything's working, but just in case. You never know.
Yeah, it's. I find it a really interesting conversation because I think there's an awful lot we don't know about that subject.
What's her name?
Serena Novelli, sex and relationships coach. So looking forward to talking to her on Wednesday.
I bet you bloody are.
Yeah.
Ooh. Wow. Well, I'm back at the hospital on Wednesday for God knows what else. So I won't be able to join you. But if I wasn't, I might just sort of, hello, Serena.
Yes, Paul, I do remember the protests when the Canadian government froze the bank account of truckers. That wasn't.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
And they were all coming downtown and honking their very loud horns and all the lorries with the lights on it. And it was a very big protest. And my daughter was there at that point, and she said the atmosphere was more uneasy than she's ever felt it. But at no point did she feel unsafe in Canada. But which was lovely. But that was the closest to it, I'd say.
And that was why cash is king, because that was the absolute World Economic Forum globalization demonstration of how they can switch off all your money, your bank accounts, your PayPal, everything. They can switch off like that, and that's what they did.
But why did they do it? I don't understand what it was about.
To be absolutely honest, I shouldn't.
You probably haven't got the time or the crowd.
No. I can't remember the root cause of what it was about. I'm not sure. But the truckers, who are hardworking, working men and women, decided that they would protest. And the government behaved in an appalling way and switched off their bank accounts, credit cards, PayPal accounts, WeTransfer, everything. They switched it all off, which they can do. It's like flicking a switch. So when people say, oh, we need to be digital currency, we don't want any cash, blah, 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 that's what they can always do. Never forget that. Doesn't help me. I'm not in a cash business. I mean, everything is by check. With funeral directors, everything is literally by check or back, so there's never any cash. But that's what they can do. Never forget that. That's the control they can have. Right. Join Neil Long Wednesday at 12 o'clock for lots of sex and lots of relationships with someone that sounds like an hors d'oeuvre at Little Italy.
Serena Novelli. I look forward to speaking to her. And indeed you on Wednesday at midday.
All right, fella. Until then, thanks for joining us all over the world. Thanks for your wonderful comments. Take care. Bye-bye.
All the best.
And no naughty